Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
The North Carolina Department of Commerce boasts on its website that workers here are 10% more productive than the average U.S. worker. Tonight, we introduce you to two plants expanding their workforce in one of the state's most economically challenged areas. In tonight's North Carolina Rising Report, Elizabeth Wilder takes us inside these McDowell County businesses to find out how they're becoming more competitive in today's marketplace.
Like historical markers, vacant buildings are a reminder thousands of textile and furniture jobs are a thing of the past for North Carolina's economy. 80 people recently lost their jobs when Pisgah Yarn sold their old Ford operation.
It's an industrial town, and so we are struggling with a lot of plant closings, and we just lost our largest water and sewer customer, in which that hurts. They paid nearly 40% of our wastewater. Up
and down Main Street, signs beg anyone to open a business. This furniture maker is trying to make a go of it after Broyhill closed their local plant.
It's a pretty scary time, you know. It's not just for this little town. No, I think a lot of little towns are in this particular thing, you know.
They're struggling for survival as plants move overseas for cheaper labor or shut down altogether. While it's a time of transition, a majority of McDowell County jobs, according to labor statistics, are still in manufacturing, just in less traditional industries. Take Janesville Acoustics in Old Fort.
Every product we build have a certain recipe.
The ingredients you see here are cleaned and cooked into this concoction as the company creates molded fiber products and insulation for the automotive industry.
And this obviously what goes in the door panel. Nissan, Mercedes, you know, BMW. We keep the car quiet and we keep you cool or warm. And you don't see our product, but it's very important to have our product, otherwise you'll be very noisy or you'll lose your AC or lose your heat.
The amount of insulation depends on the make and model of your vehicle.
I'm the last one to see the parts before they come off the line.
Then they're boxed and shipped to another company or shipped directly to the vehicle assembly plant. Most auto manufacturers, according to Janesville, want suppliers to be within a 300-mile radius, which bodes well for the plant's location.
If you look at all the new automotive assembly plants built in the last 10 years, I don't think a single one was in Detroit area. You had BMW, you had Mercedes, Toyota's adding, Hyundai just added in Alabama. We have the latest one is Volkswagen adding in Tennessee. So most of the new automotive assembly plants are moving to the south.
Why do you think that is?
Frankly, I think it's a union. They are moving away from the union states and coming to the right to work state, where we could be more competitive and they can be more competitive. So we have to compete with the world market, we have to compete with the Chinas and the Indias.
Down the road in Marion, Baldor Construction uses advanced manufacturing to make roller bearings for industrial equipment.
So what you saw Matt just build is one of 6,000 end items we built at this plant. So basically we're taking different cast iron configurations and housings and different types of bearings and mounting mechanisms and putting them together for a variety of industry solutions for our customers.
Like a skilled surgeon, precision is an important part of the job. Employees tell us they're thankful the company is doing well. Unemployment in McDowell County is above 12%.
I was looking for an electrical engineering type of job, but with the economy, I was lucky to even find this job.
I have a wife and 2 little girls.
The company's low was in 2009 with 93 employees at the plant. Today they have 128.
So we've had roughly 40% employees over that 2-year time frame. Our sales demand is very high. Over the last 18 months, we've grown at a double-digit rate. And we like to think that's because we provide a quality product made in the USA.
While they make very different products, both companies are trying to expand their workforce. They each received a grant from the One North Carolina Fund to pay for building, equipment, or product expansion. At Baldor, the grant paid for automation to make parts that were previously outsourced.
And we can react daily to customers versus over periods of weeks and a lot of inventory or cash tied up. And from a cost position, we realize the cost savings from insourcing that from India. So it provides us a landscape where it can be competitive in a global market from Marion, North Carolina.
And if you hadn't received the incentives, would you have been able to bring this back?
It would have been tough to. That kind of put us over the top and gave us some of the savings we needed to pay for the initial investment. So it certainly helped tremendously.
And how much money did you get?
We got $3,000 per employee from the state, matched by the county, up to 25 total employees. So it's going to be $150,000.
And what are most of those companies looking for when they come to you? What do they need?
Well, incentives to make the project work.
The idea is to stimulate the economy. Janesville Acoustics received a $120,000 grant by promising to invest $1.5 million to add on to their factory and create 40 more jobs.
We just happen to work with the state and the county, and we're getting some grants to help us offset some of those improvements.
Especially with an industry with so many ups and downs.
It was more than doubled, I think, to get into the real numbers from where we were a couple of years ago. We had lines running 1 shift per week. We had lines running barely 5 days or 4 days. Now we have lines running 7 days, 3 shifts per week. And it seemed like activities pick up, more people are buying cars. But it's hard to predict what the future will be.
And it can be difficult to prepare for the future, as companies must leverage growing jobs with making sure they have a trained workforce ready to go when needed.
I think the biggest challenge is maintaining a flow of people that want to get into manufacturing. I think because of the industries like furniture and textiles that have become extinct over the last 15 years, either those people or the children of those employees have thought that manufacturing is dead. And that's not the case. There are companies like Baldor that are very alive and offer a nice career path for people in McDowell County.
Just last week, the company Rock-Ten that makes corrugated and consumer packaging announced it too will expand manufacturing operations in McDowell County. This thanks to a $372,000 grant from the One North Carolina Fund. Right now, the company employs 233 workers in Marion and more than 1,000 workers across the state.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.